Hey, Hoop fans. Happy Friday, June 14th. You're watching today's episode of the Hoop Express. So I'm sure everyone last night got a chance to see that fantastic game between the Thunder and the Heat last night, Game 2. Wow, what a game that was as well. Not so much for the first majority of the game, but finally when the Thunder started making their run to get back into it, it really got excited there at the end. But Miami was too strong and held on for the 4-point win. I thought that the decision that Durant made to go that early when they were only down by 2 was kind of not the right decision to make. And I thought that maybe they should have pounded the ball inside and took it wasn't too far of a shot, but he certainly rushed it. The shot was up within 5 seconds. And I think that they should have maybe crashed the glass a little bit more. But let's talk more about it. First of all, great game for Shane Battier. 17 points again for the second consecutive game. Hitting 5 out of 7 threes. And wow, that critical one at the end that looked like it was just a terrible shot from maybe 26 feet away. Banked it right into the basket. LeBron, of course, had a great game. He had 32 points. And he put in 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, only 2 turnovers, hitting all 12 of his free throws. Pretty impressive. Bosh had a solid start, 16 and 15. That was a very, very good line for Chris Bosh this game. And D. Wade, even though he didn't score as much as LeBron, I mean, he was way more effective than LeBron. Aside from the line, they both were pretty solid. He scored 24 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, had 5 assists, and a block. Only 3 turnovers. He really helped the team out. And I was pretty impressed. Spoelstra said before the game that he needs Wade to have a big game, and LeBron even mentioned, he needs Wade to be Wade. And he definitely did that. Kevin Durant, foul trouble all game. He finished the game with 5 fouls. Went on a tear there in that fourth quarter. Ended up with 32 points, which was pretty impressive, but he was limited in minutes. Only played about 39. I would have expected him to play about 44, 45. And that point total definitely could have been higher. I mean, his plus-minus was at a -9. 32 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. Only 2 turnovers. Not a bad line still, despite his limited minutes on 12 of 22 shooting. Ibaka, wow, 5 incredible block shots last night. I think he had something like 7 points to go along with that. And Westbrook had another solid game, 27 points. And 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and steal. Pretty good game. Fisher didn't really contribute much off the bench. Harden is the man who stepped up for the Thunder off of the bench, putting in 21 points, 14 in that first quarter. And wow, he really looked impressive. 7 of 11 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3, hit 5 of his 7 free throws. However, the Thunder, if they want to win games in these NBA Finals, 73% at the line is not going to get it done. 19 of 26 shooting for the Thunder, and 22 out of 25 at the line for Miami. So that's getting it done on Miami's end. Now, also what I wanted to talk about is the foul calls in this game. The free throws were still evenly distributed, but boy, was Miami getting a lot of bailout calls there. There was a play at the end of that game when James Harden, he flopped when LeBron was charging in, but he did draw the contact. Fair enough, he drew the contact. He didn't get the call. And it was that kind of a night. It was the kind of night where those kind of calls were being, called all game long. And I'm pretty surprised that it didn't really work out so much in the Thunder's favor, being the home team. I felt that the refs were really giving an advantage to Miami. And, I know that they were the more desperate team after losing Game 1, but it really didn't look fair. The Thunder were, because of all the terrible foul calls, I felt limited to what they could have possibly done in their attempts to come back. I mean, they were down 17 and then 11, and then they cut it to 9, and then you'd think that, okay, they're going to make their push, and Miami would come back right away, get a bailout foul call. so on and so forth. LeBron fouled Durant on that last play of the game. That shot, even though it wasn't the best shot, he did draw the contact. There should have been a foul call there. Also, Durant only 4 for 6 at the line. Westbrook 5 for 7 at the line. Those two players missing 4 free throws. I mean, it's natural, it happens, but that's really not getting it done. Harden also 5 for 7, so that's 6 free throws missed between the 3 of those players, which, that number needs to be cut in half, and this is a different game. That being said, it is what it is. The game is over, and, you can't say what if. So the series is tied up at 1 game apiece, and games 3, 4, and 5 will be in Miami. Games 3 starting on Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock out west. It's going to be another interesting game, and you have to really think the Thunder are in a lot of trouble at this point because Miami has those 3 games at home. They have lost 2 games at home so far this postseason, but they're playing a much better style of basketball than they were throughout the first maybe 2.5 rounds. Ever since Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, they've really looked strong. Even Game 5 and Game 6 against Indiana, they looked pretty well, but Game 6 and 7 also they looked well. And Games 1 and 2, they really led the majority of the game. I'd say they led for about 6.5 to 7 quarters out of the total 8 quarters so far. The Thunder just had they had a dominant second half, but they had to come back to begin with. So you have to imagine the Heat are going to be a very, very tough out at home. They do not want to give home court advantage away by any means. So we're going to have to see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to need to see more out of Westbrook, more out of Durant, more out of their bench as well, other than Harden. You need to see Fisher, Nick Collison come up big. Cephalosha was almost a healthy scratch. He had 3 points in the entire game. Perkins only put in 4. Ibaka was there with blocks, but you'd like to see him get a few more baskets than he did, only putting in 2 baskets. So we'll have to see what happens next. Anyway, that's all the time we've got for today. I think this is one of the better shows we've had so far. I hope you guys enjoy it. Check it out. Tell all your friends about the Hoop Express. Check us out on Twitter at Chad M. Hersko and at Danny A. Lovey. That's it for today, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday morning to recap the Game 3. Take care. Bye-bye.